Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo pre-show. How's everyone doing tonight? How you doing, J-Boss? What's up, sir? I'm excited to be back. I had a lull in energy from last week to this week. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo pre-show. How's everyone doing tonight? But I'm okay now. The only thing is I had, by the way, let me know if the volume is okay and everything. I'm still fiddling around with it lately. I had a protein shake and I found out I had milk and I didn't have any pills, lactase pills, and so I'm gonna be a little sweaty possibly. I think it's already starting. Lactose intolerance. How are you doing, sir? We're doing well. If we get enough people, I feel like I was low energy, J-Boss. I really do. I don't think I was high energy yesterday. No idea about any of this Chud news. This is gonna be good. I'm excited to talk about this because it's not slop, man. This is a huge problem, this thing with the Chud guy. And it is a marker of the declining mental health and abilities of Americans. It's becoming a problem. But let me show you, dude. Hang on. Firstly, I have to say this. I'm very excited because that phone I was talking about, the Sony Xperia. No, hang on. Where is this? Sony Xperia 8. It kind of sucks, apparently. But that's okay because now the 7 should be cheaper. Let me show this to you, man. This is pretty interesting here. I saw someone in the comments yesterday who came in and they were like, "Oh, dude, like, thank you for saying this about the iPhone. I'm gonna make an iPhone video tomorrow." Yeah, get us to speed nicely. Yeah. All right. We'll do it. We'll do it. All right. Perfect. Look at this. Look at this new phone, dude. I don't even hate it. I think it looks really cool. I really do think it looks cool. No. 1 second. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, that's about the Trump China thing, which we might talk about a little bit. This is the new phone. These are the articles about it. This is the Sony. Everyone is saying it's like a year too old. It should have been released last year because it's not as impressive as you thought. This is 1,500 euros, which how much is that in real money? How much is 1,500 euros in real American money? In the actual 1,700, that's a ridiculous price. So, and they downgraded the camera a little bit, but what I'm planning on doing is buying this one, the 7, because it should get a little cheaper. And there's these people I found. I'm not sponsored by anyone here. This Swiftronics. This is I can't wait I want to get this phone, dude. I'm going to get this phone. My producer agrees with you, J-Boss. He was like, dude, I don't want to learn a new phone. But I can't stand this fucking iPhone. So this guy's in Canada, apparently, and he resells phones to the US that are actually still good. So I might get this phone, hopefully. It's so much money, dude. I hope this drops down to like $1,000. And then I can get rid of this piece of shit phone. I hate the iPhone. And you know what's going to happen? Because this is how Christoph works. This is how the world works. Is I'm going to get this phone. And then within 2 years, I'm going to be like, I want the iPhone again. And I'm going to fucking get the iPhone. Real money. Yeah. Dude, I can't believe I used a Sony before, so you don't get this. I have not used it. I didn't know Sony made phones, man. I maybe they made like, there was a Sidekick Sony Sidekick. That was like way back. Yeah, Sidekick. I never had one of these, but I used to see them. These were like way back. Dude, I don't know what Sony phones are like. Sony phones. I gotta be honest with you. I like Sony for the cameras, the A7C and all that, but I've never used a Sony phone. And they make good lenses, the G Master. I don't know, dude, because I've never liked any Android that I bought, but I can't stand this iPhone. They used to call them Sony Ericsson. Yeah, Sony Ericssons. You're right. Dude, that takes me back, dude. I remember when the first iPhone came out. I remember the first kid at my school, let me bookmark this, who had the iPhone in like 4th grade. How you doing, Eves? And it was a very cool. It actually meant something to have an iPhone then. It really did. Welcome to the King Leo Show, everyone. It is 10 o'clock. I'm very excited for tonight's show where we get to talk about something which is going to trigger. It's very not. Listen, tonight, we're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to be sad. anything violence is sad, man. We have to talk about this Chud the Builder fella, who I don't know what this, I guess I would call it nihilistic stuff is. For anyone, just as our teaser, Chud the Builder is this young man who has made a name for himself by going around calling Black Americans, where is it?
Say the N-word, go on.
The N-word, okay? And he's saying we should call people the N-word because of freedom of speech. And I've always found this crass. I don't think George Washington was writing the First Amendment, and I know he didn't write it. You fucking nerd, okay? I know it was James Madison or whatever. How's that helping you? Anyway, just these nerds, dude. But I don't think that any of those founding fathers were thinking about, we're writing this to preserve the right for you to call people racial slurs. I think that may have been a consideration, possibly, because like Thomas Jefferson was like, how am I going to refer to my slaves if I can't use the N-word? You know, something like that. But I don't think that it's... So we're going to see some of that. I'm just warning you because we're going to get to that. And I don't like to see that. I find it crass. I find it lowbrow. I mean, why would you do that? I don't go around calling people ethnic slurs. I mean, from time to time, you know, there's a time and a place for everything. Whether it's joking or you're really mad, you know? I guess. I don't know. That's probably... I mean, I know them in Spanish about each other, like each other in the Latinos. You know, we call each other stuff all the time. I haven't really... I mean, I guess gypsy's a slur in America now. I don't know how it works. But why are you going around calling people ethnic slurs for freedom of speech? Freedom of speech. All right, we're going to get to that. We're also going to cover Trump in China, which is interesting. Why is President Trump in China? Are we friends with the Chinese again? Isn't China supporting Iran in the big war? I don't understand what's going on. You don't understand what's going on. But don't worry, Baudrillardians, check in. We will be more confused together. All right, let's get to it. Let's start with Schizo Watch. And I really have a question here regarding this first clip. I am fascinated by America. I love it. This is the greatest country in the world, absolutely. But I'm increasingly fascinated with the media we are consuming here as American citizens. And I'll be honest with you, I have not consumed what is the most popular television show in all of history. Some of you might be like, is that Mad Men? No. Is that Breaking Bad? No. Is it Dallas? No. The Young and the Restless? No. It is The Big Bang Theory.
Sensational.
I've never seen it. I mean, I've seen clips of it. I've been assaulted with clips of it on Twitter. That one, and also the spinoff they made called Young Sheldon. And I find this show, from the little that I've seen, to be an indictment on the taste, which is lacking in the United States, on the animalistic nature, the appetite for slop that the American has. I don't understand how Americans have an appetite for this. The Big Bang Theory, is my understanding, is about three nerds who live in an apartment, and they're like physicists or something. And there's a hot girl next door, and they're trying to sleep with her or something. I don't know. None of that sounds interesting to me. However, it started a spin-off show called Young Sheldon, which ended last year. And now there's another spin-off. And I have to show you this because this is not... The Big Bang Theory was on network television. This is now on Prestige Premium TV on HBO Max. Let's see the next spin-off of The Big Bang Theory.
Hey, Stuart.
How is it out there?
I think there's room for improvement.
I've only got a few seconds to explain this. So you gotta focus.
Do you have an identical twin brother?
a mew from another stream of reality. None of this is normal. If you turn the lights off, they don't bother you. This apocalyptic nightmare, the dimensional rifts, never has to happen.
All kneel for the supreme ruler of South Pasadena.
Hello, prisoners.
Crippy?
Take the wench, wash her, bring her to my womb.
Oh, I'd rather die.
I don't understand this. I don't get it, because what fascinates me about this is I have never met someone in real life that has watched The Big Bang Theory. Never in my life. That someone that has admitted that to me. I know one guy who watched Young Sheldon because he was an immigrant trying to learn English. But they keep making spin-offs. So someone needs to be watching this. This is the most popular television show in the history of television in the United States. This is a problem. It really is. Listen, I'm not even a huge snob. Okay, I'm not a snob, but I'm just wondering who. This is clearly not funny. It's clearly, how is a sitcom in the 2010s the most watched thing of all time? I truly don't understand. So I don't see what, and there must be an audience for it. I mean, this has 56,000 likes, 8 million views. And people are look at this. This is a compilation here of Sheldon's funniest moments on The Big Bang Theory. Do these people go to specific restaurants or something? Do they go somewhere else? Where is this coming from? I don't get it. Look at this. People are I have never met a fan. Is this another spinoff? There's no way. I don't know. I don't understand. The American appetite for slop. Dude, I've never... If you were a pig farmer, you would be impressed at the American human being's appetite for slop. You would say, wow, these people are real animals, like real goys, dude. Real goys.
Some Gentiles are very stupid. They'll never think. They only want the beer and the alcohol and the sport and the football and the 4th of July barbecue and the beach and the tattoos and the clubs. That's all they have in mind.
That's the truth, man. I don't understand who is watching. This is obvious. I don't think this is being watched by liberals. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe it's my anti-conservative bias, but this strikes me as something that conservatives watch. But also it's about science, ostensibly. What is this? I have the same question about The Simpsons, which is still on air. Who is still watching new episodes of The Simpsons? There is something wrong and sick about this country where you can make the worst slop imaginable, just like the worst thing. I think that I see it every weekend, this weekend, when it ends, they post these clips from Euphoria and they say, wow, this show is bad. Or they do it also with, I don't remember that. They do this, The Boys. They're like, wow, this show is bad. So why are you watching it? This is what I struggle with, because for all of their faults in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America, look, in Latin America, people just watch telenovelas, okay? There's issues with that. It's low IQ. You know, it's not great, okay? I'm going to be honest. It's not great, okay? It's not good to be watching telenovelas all the time.
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck that!
It is rotting the minds of Latin Americans and Brazilians, okay? But in Europe, in Asia, the people still go out there and watch good films and TV. They have their own local stuff. You ever go to Holland? Those people are making something in Dutch. That's only for them. Only here do we have this insatiable appetite which is satiated with garbage. Look, this is garbage. This is not good for you. I'm not even mad about it anymore. I really want to know. I read an article that was called "Who Actually Watches the Big Bang Theory?" and the author couldn't figure it out. And someone has to be watching. So, I wanted to start here. Do me a favor. Can you ask, if you've seen the Big Bang Theory, can you tell me why? And can you ask people in your personal life if they've watched it and if they're excited for the new spinoff? Because I don't see what value this has for society beyond working to get immigrants to learn English. All right. I literally don't know what the plot is, Eves, of any of these shows. It's just terrible. It's terrible. Speaking of TV, let us see. This came out last week. The latest ICE edits. They're still making these, man. I wonder who's getting paid off of them. Let's watch here. I don't know who the audience is for this anymore. The quality has declined.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
What is still the point of these? Who is the audience for this? This obviously they couldn't get the rights to the Jan Hammer song from the Miami Vice theme. Because I'm sure that shit is locked up tight. Let me mute this fucking chat. Why am I still in this chat? Always, there we go. J-Boss says, isn't that a 90s song like President? Dude, it's a ripoff of the Miami Vice theme song. The Jan Hammer song. And they're combining it with the aesthetic of the lettering of Vice City from the video game. I don't understand who this is even for anymore, man. This goes further to this question. 13,000 people like this. A third of a million people watched it. I really think nowadays, this is the fascinating thing about dead internet theory, which people always go on about. They're like, oh, dead internet theory. Dead internet theory. I don't understand who the audience is for anything anymore. The Big Bang Theory, this, Miami Ice. Chrissy Noem's not there anymore, so no one's getting paid off of this, I guess. Someone's making money off of this, obviously. But increasingly with time, I think that you have to take a big step back and think about the fact that you don't know who is watching this stuff. Like, who is the audience? We are completely unaware of who's watching this stuff. I'm not interested in this. Donald Trump usually has his finger on the pulse, but this seems to be a rogue agency at this point. We have the Indian guy in charge now, Mark Wayne. They're still making this, and I don't know who it's for. And I really wonder because, this is the most wonderful thing about government is that they can create an economy out of nowhere. But who is the audience? Can they pay us to do nothing as well? We are turning into a semi-Sovietized system. Someone got paid to do this. It's not particularly impressive. And let's see the audience here. There's no way these are real people, dude. These have to be like, not to stereotype, dude, but like people in South Asia or Pakistan. This is the United States. I don't believe that. And no human being would post stuff like this. Nice ICE agent. You would feel a little bit of shame, a little bit of guilt making this stuff in the big 2026. And look at this is just pathetic. This Jeremy Rome. I don't know who this is. Small account. You're fighting them on their terms. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know if this is to piss people off, to help people out. I don't know. But I don't know. It's clout chasing, or you know what I do wonder from this is this. When a dog does this to your car, they scratch the car. Does the police pay you for that if they don't find drugs? I bet they don't. J-Boss says, Eve says it's a joke. It is kind of a joke. It really is. I don't know who the audience is for this. And people in Miami, I don't think that they're watching this. I haven't seen anyone come up to me and be like, oh, dude, have you seen the new Miami ICE video? I haven't seen anyone do that. People in Miami warn each other about ICE these days. There were some ICE agents at Fresco, which is one of our grocery stores in by Quail Roost Ave. People were like, oh, don't go down there. So I don't even know how you get caught by ICE. Everyone is in the know. I don't know. Also, the deportation numbers aren't there, so whatever. J-Boss says, the video game? You mean the GTA Vice City? Yeah, they're using that lettering at the end. Also, you're getting a Tim Pool's point of no longer shared culture watching the same TV shows, so the audience may be fragmented, not one demographic group. Scott Adams used to say something similar about us watching different movies, right? But the thing is, and this is my question, and I want to start like 20 more YouTube channels, and like a total multiple personality disorder, in order to try to clue in. I want to start one as Hassan. I want to start one as a conservative. I'm going to do that one. That one starts tomorrow, I think. I'm going to give the link. So you guys, please subscribe when we get that one started. But don't give away the bit. I have to know where they are. Who are the audience? So it's really something. This country, and this is all going to tie into. I love Scott too, man. Scott was, he made a mistake in my view about one important thing, but he helped me a lot. I liked Scott, but yeah, dude, it's just getting worse. All right, let's get to something lighter here. Here we have Keir Starmer. Thank you, Jay. It's going to be fun. I bought props for it. It's going to be great. This is today Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, who is he's in a fight for his life because he lost. He had like one of the biggest parliamentary losses in the past week or week and a half. And the Conservatives, who are led by this young lady here, Kemi Bedincock, leave it to Conservatives, huh? This is the Conservative front leader in England, a Nigerian woman. I think she was born and raised in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. She's trying to take out Keir Starmer, who has been under assault by everyone, Piers Morgan, the American people, because of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's watch here.
I'm particularly getting tips from her on how to win friends. This is from the person, Mr. Speaker, who previously called us orcs and goons. But, Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner, and so, as usual, she is less than half right.
He called himself a gooner. That's the Prime Minister.
And so, as usual, she is less. And so, I am a gooner. And so, Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner.
I am a gooner.
I am a gooner.
What is going on in the UK? The whole world is in chaos. I am a gooner.
I like to get a bunch of men together.
Okay.
Men that are the hardest of the hard. And I want to be with these men.
I don't even understand. What? That country is fucked, right? Like they have to be. I'm bullish on the continental Europe. I'm not bullish on the Anglos, man, the island. But now that a gooner is in charge, when a real come on, man, that's a free man talking.
Come on, man, this is a free man talking.
I'm a gooner. Maybe this could alleviate, because Macron is definitely a gooner too. Maybe this is the honesty and transparency in politics we've been waiting for. Let's continue. This we're saving, actually. This we have to save for the China section. Do we have this twice? No. I wanted to show you here, of course, some Dave Ramsey. This clip went a little viral recently. I think it's best for us to listen to this here because I think Dave Ramsey may be right here, and a lot of people were hating on him.
My boyfriend makes $250,000 a year, but he does not want to propose until I'm completely debt free.
Interesting.
You're not gonna like me. If you were my daughter, you want to know what I would tell you?
What?
Dump him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great guy.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's making you prove your worth.
Based on money.
Yeah.
To him. You're having to buy your way into this relationship. Nope. You're a princess and you deserve more than this.
The reason I've been able to put majority of my paycheck towards my loans is because he does pay for all our rent.
Oh, so you live together?
Yeah, we live together.
Oh, so you're already married, but you just didn't admit it.
Yeah, it does feel like we're married.
Well, gosh.
Yeah. So what's his incentive to get married? None. The number one cause of divorce in North America today is money fights and money problems. And guess what this is? This is a money fight.
Yeah.
You're just not having it out loud. You're having it in your head.
I don't understand several, because let's give Dave a lot of shit on this show, but I think he's partially right. If you are choosing not to marry someone because of their student loans in the big 2026, you're crazy.
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy. There is not going to be, dude, it's not possible. It's not possible. Now, why would that even be something to preclude you from marrying someone? It's not like you're going to buy a fucking house. You're broke.
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Dave Ramsey here is saying that this gentleman who makes $250,000 a year is being selfish. $250,000 a year isn't even a lot of money anymore. It's not. I know that all the people in the lower economic thresholds in the transitional neighborhoods are going to be like, Leo, what do you mean? It's so much. No, it's not. Taxman takes 30%. Okay. So a third of the year you're working for free. You take home. What is that? It's like minus what is that? That's 76, $81,000. So that is 100 and no, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's 190K that you take home. 190K. How much is rent? In any major city, it's going to be at least $3,000. That's $36,000 a year. How much is the car? You know that car note is going to be $1,000. There's no cars that exist anymore that are $20,000. How much is gas? It's $4.30 out here. How much is car insurance? I pay $1,200 a year. How much is a mortgage? How much is insurance on the house? How much is going on vacation? This is, at the end of the day, if you make $250,000 a year, I think you literally takes home probably to put away in not in savings, after everything, the money you get to enjoy. So I assume it's like $10,000 a year. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too responsible. But that's what I assume. So it's not a lot of money. It's really not. And to say why Mr. Ramsey's completely wrong here, why would you tell, with limited information, people to break? This man is saying, I don't want to get married till you don't know what the plan is. This is one side of the story. Maybe he wants her to buy a house in her name because he is a part-time drug dealer. That's possible. And he makes a lot of money in cash and he needs to put everything in her name. Maybe that's why. Maybe he is going to have to use her name for stuff. What's the big deal? It's $90,000. If she can use all of her money to pay that off, then what's the problem? I just don't see why. I understand the annoyance partially that you can't really use your money, but it's $90,000. If you get to put all your money towards that, that should be paid off in 2 years. I mean, the median income nationally, if I'm not mistaken, is $50,000 a year. Tax man doesn't take home that much, actually. You probably take home 45, maybe 40. That's $80,000. You put that all towards the student loans, put it 3 years, and then you can be married. But I don't understand why you would give this advice. This is another one. We've seen Dave Ramsey with his hypnosis give this boomer advice. Right? You don't know why people are doing things that they need to do. Eve says the system is so retarded for me. It really is. And I don't think that it's unusual for new kinds of peculiar relationships to come out of this kind of stuff. And people are going to be smarter for doing so. Maybe this is a reasonable request that he hasn't explained to her as to why. Dave Boss says it's the emotional side of the story. Right. And I would understand. But I don't think that this is an unusual request. I really don't. And I feel like there is a tinge of sexism as well in this, where if it were the other way around, I think Dave Ramsey would not give this advice. He would not. I think he would tell her, if it were the other way around, he would say, break up with him, he's a loser, because he still has student loans. And I just don't see. I don't see how, look, I think debt is fake and all that shit. You can't discharge these loans. If he's giving you the opportunity to pay them off, this is what I don't understand. Even if you're thinking cynically, this is what I don't understand about Dave Ramsey. Even cynically, total gold digger. Why would you not stay with this man who's paying for everything while you finish paying off your student loans? And you get rid of that non-dischargeable debt. Why? This is the problem with this country today. A lot of people, we saw Kevin O'Leary, the famous murderer, give advice on how to tenderize Iran, how to, blow up their bridges, and how you should tell your spouse if you're cheating on them. And here's Dave Ramsey giving advice to someone he literally doesn't understand. Why would you not cynically stay in this relationship to pay it off? I don't get it. Eve says maybe he's trying to help her. Lots of factors at play here, especially. But I don't see how this would help anyone, Eves. I don't like giving. If I've learned anything in life, and I'm surprised that boomers like Dave Ramsey don't say it, but the only advice that I feel comfortable giving people about relationships is don't get involved in other people's relationships. It has nothing to do with you, and you don't understand how they work. But he's giving you advice. It doesn't make sense. Eve says she should just make a deal with him, a prenup. I would do that too. That's the advice I would give to Dave. I'd be like, hey, if I were Dave Ramsey, I'd tell him, hey, you get rid of your non-dischargeable debt. Why don't you just get a prenup that says that once you're done paying that off, you guys will split the money, or maybe it'll be all yours. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? Just get married doing that. You can put that in a prenup. I don't know, but this is getting really silly. And I'm glad to see that younger people are coming up with like clever alternatives to the financial rape system that we're in. But I would not take advice from Ramsey here. I really wouldn't. We've seen him before. This is one of his less bad advices. But he just gives some terrible advice. All right, let's get to the next segment, everyone. Where is it?
The people are retarded.
Speaking of money, moolah, as the Mexicans say, la feria. We have to start here with AOC, who went viral this week for this little statement. And I think, as usual, people are giving her shit when she doesn't deserve it.
There's a certain level of wealth and accumulation that is unearned, right? You can't earn $1 billion.
That's right.
You just can't earn that.
That's exactly correct.
You can get market power. You can break rules. You can do all sorts of things. You can abuse labor laws.
Yep.
You can pay people less than what they're worth.
Yep.
But you can't earn that, right?
That's right.
And so you have to create a myth that since you didn't earn that, you have to create a myth of earning it.
I love it. I love it. I really don't see a problem with this.
You didn't build that.
This is AOC and her Puerto Rican ire for billionaires has just rediscovered the Balzac from First Principles. Behind every great fortune is a great crime. I think she's completely right. Excuse me. I don't think anyone can literally earn $1 billion. And what I mean by that is I don't think ADP or any payroll service has ever finished a year out paying someone $1 billion. That's not possible. It is made through obviously stock options, the use of equities, debts, etc. And you can justify that. But I do think that this is quite obviously true. Everyone clowning on her, they're like, oh, you're corrupt. Who are you to say any of this? But dude, this was discovered by Balzac. Like, that's his famous quote: behind every great fortune is a great crime. And I always like to give people their due. I'm not even a fan of AOC. I don't love AOC. I don't like her, actually. I think AOC is a bit of a...
Oh, coons, we want to have fun. Oh, coons, we want to have fun.
But she's right. She is right. I mean, think of all the rich people today. And they all create these myths. They really did. Okay? Mark Cuban stole someone's company. That's how he made his money. It was he screwed someone on a deal, and then he used stock options to solidify his gains and became a billionaire. That's how he did it. Jeff Bezos literally works for the CIA with AWS. Bill Gates, his mama, worked for IBM, and she got him plugged in for his first contract. Steve Jobs, I love Steve Jobs, but he isn't the guy who just invented the iPhone. He started off illegally. He was selling the blue boxes to make long distance calls for free in the United States. All of these people, there's a myth now that Mark Cuban is a savvy tech investor. No, he's not. He didn't invent anything. All he did was steal someone's shit. Peter Thiel invented PayPal. You were funded by InQtel. The technology had been developed by Elon Musk for Zip2. And InQtel came in and said, hey, we can use this to trace terrorism funds. And that created Palantir and all this. Everyone creates a myth. And that, this childlike view of wealth is what is keeping this conversation at such a low level. And it won't be solved. It really won't, because we live in hell.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
This is not possible. But we will continue to go down this path because, as the lefties used to say, every American is a temporarily embarrassed millionaire, now billionaire. Why? This goes the same thing with my corporations. Why do you feel a need to defend any of these people? These people, look, there were good billionaires and millionaires in the past. I like some of them. Steve Jobs was great. He was cool. I'm not defending Bill Gates. Bill Gates had to give his wife gonorrhea medicine secretly because he was busy screwing people on that island and got her sick. I'm not going to go to bat for Bill Gates. And I don't think that she's crazy. I really don't. J Boss says you have to create a myth. Says the projecting leftist as she creates a myth. That is true. Listen, everyone is a myth maker. Everyone's a magician. Everyone has to do that. Absolutely. But I think that she is right. Didn't Dan Bilzerian earn $1/3 of $1 billion just by playing poker? And that is income technically. You're right. I didn't know that he earned $1/3 of $1 billion. Are you talking about Dan? He earned $1/3 of $1 billion. That sounds like bullshit, dude. That sounds like money laundering. No way anyone made $1/3 of $1 billion playing poker. And I'm speaking as a guy who likes to play poker. I love playing Texas Hold'em. No way. Eve says, in the 70s, my older brother made $60K in one day. And he had a lot of big paydays in the business. He got into soybeans early. He ripped off my inheritance when I was in China. That's crazy that he, in the soybean industry. That's interesting. You have to get a shitload of money from other people to get it. That's the thing. At the end of the day, that is true. To get money, all you have to do is take it from other people. And whether it's a sale or anything, it is, at the end of the day, removing money from others and giving themselves to you. And if you don't accept that, then you're telling me it's not a zero-sum game and the money is not finite, then what's the point of the game at all? This is where I really run into trouble with the Mises, libertarian types. When they're like defending these companies. Hang on. Explain to me. It's not a zero-sum game. No. Okay. But the Fed is printing money. Yes. So it's not a zero-sum game. No. So it's a rigged game. Yes. So why would I defend any part of it? I don't know. That's how they are. Let's continue. What else is going on? Let's watch over here the, I don't even have time for this. We don't have time for this. No. Let's watch over here. A free man. This is a free man. What?
Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
Let's watch one of our fellow goys here.
Does anybody else just not give a shit anymore? I'm just tapped out. Hey, did you hear? Someone tried to off the president. I don't care. No, but the war in Iran. Yeah, I don't care. I really don't give a shit. But the Strait of Hormuz, why do I know what that is? Aren't you mad that you know what that is? We shouldn't know what that is. I Googled how long it takes to hard boil an egg this morning. I'm not going to stand here and pretend I know about global shipping choke points with you. Strait of Hormuz. What is that, a yoga pose? You want to discuss the geopolitical and economical repercussions of the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. Didn't you not graduate high school, bud? But AI is going to take everyone's jobs. Good. No one works anymore anyway. You send an email no one gives a shit about, you drink at lunch and leave early. That's work now. You know what? Hey, I'll go first. You can have mine. I'll train it. Here's how you send an email no one gives a shit about, robot. I'll see you in World War III. But global warming. Dude, it's May and it's freezing out right now. It's cold until June now. And I'm pretty sure there's some shady spots on this island where there's still ice left from last winter. Last winter almost killed us. But don't you think it's important to stay informed? No, I don't. Because informed now means just knowing about 57 different horrible things that are going on that you can't do a goddamn thing about at all times. But what if something big happens? How big can it be if I can't see it? If it's big enough for me to give a shit about, I'll be able to see it. And when I see it, I'll run away. Okay? But you used to care about this stuff. I did. I really did. I had my opinions. I read articles. I stayed up on things. But now, man, honestly, I'm just trying to find out why the remote is in the refrigerator. All right? I'm not built for this. You're not built for this. We cannot actually care about all of this shit. It's not possible. So what do you care about now? The immediate well-being of my wife and kids. The way it's supposed to be.
Sensational.
This is a free man talking. My only question here is this, because I've noticed this in real life. I love to see people disengaged, getting out of the system, becoming the true Nietzschean warrior that is required to live in this hell. My only question is, why couldn't people have gotten here earlier? As someone who, listen, man, I'm not an angry guy these days. I'm really not. But one of the things that is a scab for me was COVID, where everyone had an opinion. Everyone and they mama had an opinion. These people, and I don't know if this is just me being biased. This man strikes me as a liberal. All right. He could be conservative too. I don't know, but he strikes me as a liberal. I just feel a little bit, I hate both of them, right? I hate the liberals and the conservatives, but I just feel like the liberal here, it's a little crazy for you to have tormented people for 4 years, and now you just want to tap out. Look, I commend you. I'm happy. Thank you for reaching the end of the Truman Show.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
I'm glad to see you here. Please join us. Have a seat. But why couldn't this happen earlier? I really wish it had. I really wish it had. Because I think the reason a lot of people even got to this point is because of how crazy they went under Trump 1. Which, whether it was a good time or a bad time, did not justify most of the things that were. People were crazy back then, man. They were crazy. The libs especially. they put on a vagina hat and walked around Washington, D.C. I have not seen that before or since. Do you know how crazy that is? I was in college. I had a teacher not teach us for a week because she had to go put on a vagina-colored hat and walk around Washington, D.C. What? Are you crazy? I paid money for this. And I'm sure everyone can relate. Everyone had an experience like that. That was incredibly annoying. Conservatives, just as annoying, man. Just as annoying. However, this man here strikes me as a liberal. And I'm curious, at what point, because this is the question that I wrestle with, which is that I don't think they realize that the reason that things have gotten this bad is because of 2020. That is absolutely true.
During the pandemic, my lifestyle drastically changed.
People forget that it was very important, man. They closed the world economy for 3 to 4 years, 5 years. You don't think that was gonna like destroy the world? I could have told you that, and I'm a moron. So now it's just, look, I'm happy. Listen, if there's a chef that kills 1 million people with poison cake or something, cool. I'm glad you're tapping out, actually. Thank you for not being a chef anymore. But I feel like you should do a little reflection also, though. Like, you really should. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm glad to see it, obviously. See another free man out there. But I wonder how many of them, you were part of this, man. And I don't expect an apology. I don't really care for one. But some acknowledgement would be nice. To be like, hey, listen. And the conservatives should apologize too, of course, for making everyone crazy with Donald Trump. But the liberals have some responsibility as well. And it's gross. Let's continue. Let's get over here. This is some real... I'm sure Jay Boss is going to love this. Let's see the schizophrenia that is going on in our country, the United States of America.
Europe was black. And then there was a great ethnic cleansing. And historian revisionists. There's going to be a lot of racist people that's going to come and jump into my comments because they just can't fathom the idea. I'm actually currently still going down that rabbit hole now that I have access to pretty much the government archives when it comes to like the history of Europe and also in Ireland, and learning that historian revisionists actually changed a lot of history. The purely white population back then was muy poquito, and was majority of black. And in finding out all of the information about the nobles and royalty throughout Europe, and learning that they were all black before the great ethnic cleansing.
Sensational.
What is this? This is low self-esteem. Listen, I am one to tease the Europeans about their ethnic origins. I love to say that kind of stuff. But I don't get this, man. I actually, look, I appreciate it. I actually do like it. I love history like this. I really do. I love this creativeness. Listen, man. I think that all of history is bunk, obviously. So why not make something up? I mean, half of this fucking country already does. Half this country thinks that George Washington would be best friends, skipping and a prancing together with Martin Luther King Jr. if he were alive today.
Shut up! Be quiet before you get exiled.
That's half of America. Half of America has worms in their brains. Okay, the other half, they may be a little bit crazy at times. with the 1619 project and all that, but I think they are more directionally correct, actually. I think it is more correct to say that slavery was a driving force in American history, rather than to say that, what else do conservatives believe? What other crap? Oh, that Democrats are the party of the KKK and they hate black people. It's just crazy. They just make shit up. So listen, I'm fine. I like fake history. I really do. This is actually creative. I love to talk with hoteps. I love it when they're like, you are not even from America. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, the indigenous were black. You're actually black because you have indigenous. And I'm like, listen, man, I don't think that's true, but it's cool. I mean, it's interesting at least, you know? What the hell? I mean, I like fake history. I do, because all history is fake anyway, right? But what I wonder here is, isn't it a little low self-esteem to do this? This is what I've never understood about some of these, because when you do it in a serious academic context, and you're like, the Olmecs were obviously African, when they clearly weren't. Straight. I like Canyon. Canyon is cool. You know, we built the pyramids and we taught people how to wipe their ass and shower. That's cool because it's so fantastical. It's just so fantastical that it's cool, you know. But this is like, brother, come on. You need to. I like claiming shit that, you know, I would never claim that Venezuelans. Actually, I kind of would. I would say that Venezuelans are like the master race. No, I'm kidding. But I would not claim that Venezuelans invented Liechtenstein or something, you know? I wouldn't. Because I think that's low self-esteem. But I don't know, man. If it helps you sleep at night. Eves says you're a great. Thank you, Eves. I appreciate that. J-Boss says they love to say things but never show evidence. It's kind of people that I read something, I'll go to tell the world, but not show what I read. I can never understand that thinking. I'm willing to listen to all forms of inanity, but why was she condescending enough to think we're too lowly to judge that she read, but she has to tell and not show? Listen, but I can feel your annoyance, sir. And I don't share it, but that's exactly how I feel when Glenn Beck tells me that they're just making up history. Just, oh, yeah. Oh, Joe Barry says that Thomas Jefferson wanted black people to be equal. What? He owned them as slaves. Are you crazy? That to me is, it actually does kind of bother me. I'm like, how can you make something up? Because this is like, all right, I think it's low self-esteem, but it's a name. You know, it's like whatever. I like Canyon. Canyon is cool. This isn't Canyon. This is like, boo, boo. Bring the Black Hebrew Israelites. I want some real Canyon. I want to talk about Yaqub. This, though, it's just fucking silly. Just silly. Let's continue. Should we get to the story? Should we get to the stories? Yeah, I think we'll get to the stories, actually. And we have time, we'll come back. Actually, before we get to the stories, why don't we do this? Just for fun. Do you guys want to watch a couple minutes of Vivek cringe? I've been saving this for a bit. Let's watch this, man. I want you to see who the GOP is trying to get to win in Ohio. Let's watch Vivek Ramaswamy here.
And that's why I'm proud to say tonight that I am running for United States president.
I often open up, I say my name's Vivek. It rhymes with cake. It ain't about thee. It isn't about me. It is about thee. The United States is about liberty. So Fox and friends, join us on the trail. We'll have some fun. I'll see you out the trail.
Say the M word. Go on.
One more time.
It ain't about thee. It isn't about me. It is about thee. The United States is about liberty. So Fox and friends, join us on the trail.
Shuck and jive, I'm gonna shuck and jive, I'm gonna get on down.
Let's continue.
Do you think Juneteenth is a useless holiday?
I basically do.
Getting what he wrote down, the whole crowd goes so
loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's joking how everybody's joking now. The clock's run out. Time's up. Over, plow. Who the heck is this skinny guy with a funny last name, and what the heck is he doing in the middle of this debate stage?
I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here. And the last person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and said, "What's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here?" was Barack Obama, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
Listen, now that everybody's gotten their memorized, pre-prepared slogans out of the way, we can actually have a real discussion now. The reality and the fact of the matter is...
Was that one of yours?
Not really, Mike, actually. We're just going to have some fun tonight.
Of all the...
How can, I've seen a lot of people talking about Mr. How you doing, Robbie? CCTV, don't. He does not look like me. He does not. How you doing, Audio Vibes? He does not. Sir, please. I've seen a lot of this Nick Fuentes character. We're going to talk about him a little bit tonight with this Chud story. Saying they have to elect the Democrat in Ohio because of Vivek. And he has like racial reasons for it. He's like, oh, Vivek Ramaswamy is Indian. He can't be. And, I don't agree with that personally. It's fine. It's the best man for the job, right? I'm an old school liberal like Dave Rubin with my adopted children and my husband. Okay? But anyway, I do think that if you live in Ohio, you have to vote Democrat to save us from this cringe. This is going to be the worst 6 years. If Ohio elects this guy, you will never live this down. Let's continue. Let's see some 7 minutes of cringe.
We're going to have some fun tonight.
Of all the descriptors attached to Vivek Ramaswamy, the most common one seems to be annoying. Why do you think, as more people have gotten to know you, your unfavorables are up too?
You say you are anti-identity politics, anti-affirmative action in a party that hates the Soros name, yet you accepted a Paul and Daisy Soros scholarship at law school that was specifically set up for the children of immigrants. It was an affirmative action scholarship, and your defense for that is that you didn't have the money to pay for law school, even though you'd already made over $1 million at the time. 2009 and 2010, you made $750,000. You had the money to pay for law school. You didn't need a Soros affirmative action scholarship that you now criticize. I mean, none of this is worthy, but if you think it is, let's get to the detail. That was actually the first big piece of money.
You say you're anti-affirmative action. You took a scholarship for immigrants.
I'm anti-affirmative action.
So why'd you take a scholarship for the children of immigrants?
Which falsehood would you like me to address? The financial one or the one about my views on affirmative action? Because I can go in whichever order you'd like.
Did you not make $750,000?
On the financial piece of it. Not at the time that I had applied for the scholarship that fall.
Yes, you did.
That December.
Yes, you did, Vivek. This is awkward for you because you did. I've got the tax returns in front of my face.
No, it's not awkward for you.
I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
I have to be very clear about this. Transgenderism, especially in kids, is a mental health disorder.
Just a few years.
Okay, that's enough for now. That's enough. Jeez, man. We're in for a rough... what are the odds? Let's look at the odds real quick. What are the odds? What are the odds? Vivek? No, dude, where is this? Ohio. Governor, election winner. Look, yeah, look at that. Democrat seems that they're going to win. I mean, it's super tight. I might even bet on this, dude. This is like 50-50. I think she's going to win. Let's see. Let's do our little Ben Shapiro sponsorship here of Polymarket. What happens if you bet $1,000? Do you get 600? Yeah, that's not worth it. Crazy. All right. We'll save some more Vivek cringe for after the show. Let's get to the show. And we should start over here with our more serious story. Very, very serious. Which is President Trump in China. Why are we talking about this? Oh, perfect. We already have this. Well, I mean, let's start with the context, all right? President Trump is in China. First time in 9 years, buddy. 9 years. That's crazy. I was told last year, famously, that Liberation Day was going to be the start of the golden age, that America was saved. Because I don't remember the plan. Does anyone remember the plan? My understanding of the plan was that America was going to tariff everyone, including China, so that we could make fucking screws in this country. Screws and eyeglasses. Prestige industry. And we were going to have to suffer short-term pain for a long-term gain. I haven't seen a lot of shoe factories open up in America, though. I just feel like I'm getting raped when I have to pay for stuff, personally. You know how much a cigar costs now? $15. When I worked in the cigar industry, $10 was the average cigar. That was 5 years ago, man. 6 years ago. Damn, getting old. Anyway, that was the idea. We were going to do that, and then America was going to be just like the 1950s or something. I don't know. I was told it was going to work. I was a little skeptical. Personally, I was like, I don't think Americans, you know when they say, they look you straight in the eye and they tell you, Americans will pick fruits and fix cars.
Shut up, man. Man, listen. You ain't got to say.
If you pay them good money, no, they won't. No, they won't. They won't. And you know why? Because the job sucks. I don't care if you're paying $1 million. Well, not $1 million. $1 million's different. If you're paying $300,000 a year for me to be a welder, good luck getting me to be a welder. I'm not ruining my lungs and knees to make $300K a year. Maybe $1 million. And no one's going to pay that. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just some cock lib that, oh, I have a concern. You're a cock. Thank you. I would love to see the factories. Anyway, seems like what's happened is that this country has antagonized everyone across the world. It's just such a beautiful thing, man.
I can't stand these fucking people, man. The joke is becoming a reality. Every day I hate one more person. They drive me crazy, man.
I guess we had to fucking tariff everyone. Every single person. France, you're getting a tariff. China, tariff. Liechtenstein. Ghana. How you doing? I hate everything. And now there's a war in Iran and gas costs $4.60. And maybe this whole thing I'm telling you right now is schizophrenic, okay? But follow me because I'm a free man talking.
Come on, man. This is a free man talking.
I'm trying to figure it out. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but maybe I'm not, okay? Stop being brainwashed.
We brainwashed out here, bro.
All I'm saying is that now there's this war. And the war seems to have made price go up. I'm told there's a war. I don't know if there is one. I don't know what's going on in Iran. If you know, then you tell me. Okay, you tell me. There's a war. And apparently China was trying to help out the bad guys in the war, which were the Muslims. This is, dude, I think we have to go this basic in order to try to understand. The Muslims, there are the good ones and the bad ones. And these were the bad Muslims because they're in Iran. And Iran is evil because they hate America and they hate Israel, who is our best friend. We love them. And so we had to go kill the bad Muslims, and they started to kill the good Muslims and the Israelis. And we were like, no, you can't do that. Even though we bombed you first, you can't do that to us. And the Chinese, they're really bad because they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. But we were being like, oh, they're going to send a boat. But they didn't send a boat. And now America is broke. And there's no money. And we're trying to inflate the debt away, it seems, which means that we're trying to make the money worthless so the debt is worth nothing. And I think that China is mad because they keep selling our debt and they have less business, but they're still doing fine. Seems like we're suffering. So I don't know. I guess now we're best friends with China again.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
Great. What was the point of the past 10 years? Now we're best friends all over again. Let us see what's going on in China. Let's see. This is the Chinese media.
I'm here in front of the Four Seasons Hotel in Beijing, where US President Donald Trump will be staying during his visit to China. Security is very tight around here. As you can see, a large number of people have gathered, hoping to catch a glimpse of US President Donald Trump's motorcade. On this trip, Mr. Trump is accompanied by a group of CEOs from American companies, including Jensen Huang, Elon Musk, and Tim Cook.
Tim Cook isn't even the CEO. He's a lame duck CEO. I don't even know what this retard is doing here. I hate Apple. I hate it. Why didn't this guy call the president a PDF file? Why is he with him? I'm not even mad. I'm just confused. I actually like Jensen Huang. I think he's cool. I bet that he brokered this whole thing because he recently said to Dwarkesh Patel, I think is his name, some moron. Okay? He was like, we have to sell chips to China. And he was like, but what about national security? And he was, what are you talking about? Are you stupid? We have to make money in this country. So yeah, I bet he orchestrated the whole. I don't know. Do you know? Do you know I have no idea what's going on here. The guy who called President Trump a PDF file and who destroyed USAID is there. And Tim Cook, who's a lame duck CEO, is there, even though he moved the iPhone to India, at least half of it. For some reason, this isn't supposed to feel. I saw conservatives saying, fucking hate them, dude.
Conservatives are the worst. You cannot work with them. You have to be in opposition to them. You have to oppose them constantly, even when they sound like you, especially when they sound like you. And you need to deplatform conservatives.
And these conservatives were like, you see, President Trump left out of the front of the plane, not in the back. Like that N-word Obama, because that's all they do.
Say the N-word, go on.
That's all conservatives are capable of saying, this Muslim N-word president we had, Obama. It's been 12 years. Who cares? He sucked. Who cares? Bringing up old videos of Obama in China being like, look at how they disrespected our country. What are you talking about? Dude, conservatives are gay, bro. Like, all they think about is Obama's black cock all day. Anyway, so yeah, he landed in China. Let's see how that went. Let's catch up with the champ. J-Boss says, let's see what's happening in China. This is the Chinese media. I love China, dude. I'm a huge China supporter. I wish I could buy a fucking Huawei phone, but I can't because I live in a fucking shithole country. They're actually good. I like the Huawei phones. I like them. I like the Huawei laptops. But guess what? Try to bring it into America, and suddenly I'm a terrorist because I'm a godless communist China. Fuck you. I hate it, dude. Every time it's the envy of the world. When I was in Saudi Arabia last year, I went to the Huawei store and I was like, God damn it. I felt like Boris Yeltsin at the American grocery store. I wanted to cry. How is this? Oh my God. I'm looking at the BYD cars. I wanted to get on my knees and cry. I love China. I really do. I really do. And everything says, you know what? I never got, if the U.S. was really scared of China, you'd think the U.S. would let Japan rebuild its military, bring it back to the rising sun. Didn't they? And they moved those missiles away from South Korea during this war with Iran. So I don't even know, dude, because if they did that, then China would get mad, obviously. It's kayfabe, brother. Elon still loves Trump and Trump still loves Elon. No, that is definitely true. They're just destroying our time. Like, that's what they're doing. They're just wasting everyone's time. I'm sorry. You call someone a PDF file in my book, you stop being friends. You don't really do that, right? That's a serious accusation. Doesn't even matter. So, but yeah, it is kayfabe. At the end of the day, dude, not to get too Marxist over here, but this is like some money class stuff. It's just all designed to make you look like this.
That's right, run.
Let's see the president's video here. Let's see the president's video. So this is what made conservatives just coom. Oh, we're getting respected. Oh, that's animals, man. Animals. Because I'm watching this, and I'm like, how much of a goy can you be? The White House puts this out. I don't understand. Who's the audience for this? Because this video, you know what it makes me think is like, goddamn, those Chinese look fucking good compared to America, actually. Look at that. That actually looks pretty nice. This could never happen in America. Half of these troops would be obese because we allow obesity now. In the military. Look at these young people with nice hair, waving their flags, coordinated. Trying to get Americans to do this. Get Americans to wave some flags like this, dude. Someone's gonna end up getting shot for some reason. Look at the beautiful people. Everyone is dressed well. Look at this really quick. Look at this. Look at these Chinese. Dressed well. Nice blazer. You know, if I'm a boomer, don't boomers think that China is some backwater? You know, they're like, oh, you know, it's Fu Manchu or whatever. What do these people look like better America at this point? We hao see on this. No, I'm fucking. The Xi Jinping plate comes back. All right. So that's President Trump in China. Very cool. I don't know what we're going to do. As he landed, they put out this tweet from the Chinese embassy in the U.S. 4 demands. The 4 red lines in China-U.S. relations. They must not be challenged. Number 1, the Taiwan question. Number 2, democracy and human rights. Number 3, paths and political systems. And number 4, China's development right. I mean, they're putting their cock on the table, bro. And these Chinese, a little uppity, you know? It's they're saying, man, no, look, we're not going to discuss Taiwan. It's not going to happen. Which I don't even think is a question, given that we are out of missiles, it seems. According, I don't know. J-Boss is not a China fan. Dude, I've been to China. I will admit it was a government tour and it worked stupendously. It worked so well because I was like, dude, this place is awesome. But I did get to see some of the real China because we went to some of the smaller villages like Guangzhou. We obviously went to Shenzhen. That shit was badass. Beijing, very cool. Shanghai, worked better than America. I liked it. I mean, J-Boss, you're in Spain, so you have an amazing rapid transit train system. I like it, the Spanish one. It's excellent to sleep on. The one I took it from Seville to Madrid to Barcelona and back. It was excellent. We don't have that here, dude. You get on the train here, it smells like weed and piss. I loved it. I loved China. I'm a China. They're not perfect, but I like them. I like their Huawei's and shit. They're good, I like their cars. I like these Chinese cars, dude. I like these BYDs. 10 G's for a car, breaks down after 3 years. Better than an American deal, EV saves me some money. Not that bad. I like personally, but we feel free to disagree. This is another bit that China put out, and this was today, the peaceful coexistence of China, U.S. It's all a very Chinese style.
China and the United States, two leading global players, the world's two largest economies. How they interact with each other has far-reaching and global implications. To clash, confront each other, and wear each other down, or engage in sincerity and good faith. The history of China-U.S. relations offers an unmistakable answer. Surging through the flames of World War II, the American Flying Tigers undertook the perilous Hump Airlift and fought shoulder to shoulder with the Chinese people against fascism. In the years of frozen ties, ping-pong diplomacy, where the small ball moved the big globe, enabled a handshake that crossed the Pacific Ocean. In the years that followed, China-U.S. exchanges and cooperation brought out their respective strengths and delivered win-win results. Together, they fought terrorism, tackled the financial crisis, and battled Ebola. Time and again, people have seen that when China and the U.S. join hands, they generate positive energy for the world. Today, China-U.S. trade matches the annual GDP of a mid-sized country. 80,000 U.S. companies invest in China. 80% of Apple's core suppliers have plants in China. Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory accounts for half of its global output. All this shows that China and the U.S. helping each other succeed and prospering together is a tangible prospect within reach. It will serve both countries and benefit the world. More importantly, the Chinese and American peoples both want a life of peace and happiness. Their joys and sorrows are much the same. Their online chats and in-person interactions reflect how the world should be. Neither China nor the US can remodel each other, but they can choose how they want to engage. The right choice is to commit to the principle of mutual respect, to hold the line on peaceful coexistence, and to strive for the prospect of win-win cooperation. The Earth is too small for China and the US to turn against and confront each other, and the Pacific Ocean is vast enough for both to prosper in their own ways. China and the US must coexist peacefully on this planet for all time to come. A ready and open China is right here. It is now for the US to choose the right course.
So it's a little threatening. It's a little like, you get to choose the way this goes, but we have to respect each other. I'm honestly, man, I want to go back to China. I really liked it. I really do want to go see it again. But, there is subtle threats. The Earth is too small for the U.S. and China to confront each other. The U.S. has to choose the course, i.e. the ball's in your court. And I love the history, saying this, like the Flying Tigers during World War II and all that. It's kind of skipped over a lot of stuff, but, whatever. What I expect now, yes, and obviously it is propaganda, J-Boss. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not denying that. Absolutely. This is some of the better Chinese propaganda I've seen. They're not great at it. And everything says, I saw a post showing that China's bringing back muscle. I'm not surprised, dude. I want a Chinese car, man. Those lucky Canadians are going to get the BYDs. I want a $10,000 car, dude. I really do. It'd be fucking nice. And, so we'll see what happens here. I don't know if this is exactly America coming back with its tail between its legs, being like, come on, please, we need to cooperate. Because I don't trust the quality control in any other country besides probably Vietnam. When they told me they started making iPhones in India, I was like, oh, brother, dude, we're fucked.
These fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
I don't trust Indian manufacturing at all. And you know what? It's not me being racist. I have owned Indian watches because I like to collect watches. They suck. They're really bad. Really, really bad. I know China is Mickey Mouse or whatever. They make some cool shit. I like the Chinese stuff, you know? So I don't know. I really don't understand what America is doing here. But, you know, just to show you something here. This is Brett Baer, who's one of the strongest Trump allies, who's having a grand old time in China. I also expect that we're going to hear a lot more about the Uyghur genocide again, now that relations seem to be improving. And my question that my producer actually asked me was, he said, I don't get it. Uyghurs are Chinese and Muslim. America has always told me to hate Chinese people. And they've told me that they hate people like me that are Muslims. But I'm supposed to love a Muslim that is Chinese? That doesn't make any damn sense. So I thought that was, but I'm sure we're going to hear about that. Let's see Brett Baer having a grand old time.
In China, trying to get a cup of coffee. Thought we'd try this. Oh, I can pay for it. So you put it in the iPad here, and once you pay for it, and I'm weaseling out of paying for it.
I'm wondering if Brett Baer, because he works for Fox News, why he's not scared of this Chai-Com poison coffee. Are you not concerned? I've been hearing that China is evil for the past 30 years. I don't, you know, but at least he's having a good time. Jay Buss says you're supposed to love Uyghurs because they hate Europe. In the past they were the Huns. That's why. Well, dude, my issue with the Uyghur thing has always been, and I'm not like some Chinese shill, I'm not. But the Xinjiang problem has existed for a long time. And I know this more so from the Grey Wolves, which are another Turkic terrorist organization in Turkey. The Turkic peoples, there are a lot of them that are kind of violent. In Xinjiang, if I recall correctly, they bombed a train. Dude, the Americans had them listed as terrorists until it was no longer convenient. China says that they're dealing with terrorists, and I'm not saying that they're justified in what they're doing, but kind of rich for the country that has Guantanamo Bay to be saying anything about that. Like, dude, at least close Guantanamo before you say that, you know? Let's continue. Brett Baer having another great time. Look at this. Here he's buying some sausage from a robot. I just don't understand. Brett, careful, the Chai-Coms are going to kill you. And how is he so comfortable there?
Inside. This is the first of its kind for this kind of interaction. If you want to order something, hello, can I get a sausage, please?
Okay. Kaochan, 8.8 yuan.
Brett, no, Brett! Brett, no! They're going to poison you, Brett. They're Chinese. I just don't understand. You just went. It's every day on Fox News. They're going to kill us. These goddamn Chinese. Godless communists. I'm just, dude, I think he's just trying to sell me an iPhone. Everything says robots and AI taking over jobs in China. Yes. I didn't know about this, dude. I have to take another trip, bro. I really do. I have a 10-year visa. I think that's expiring in like 3 years. I have to go use it again. I regret not going to Hong Kong and North Korea, man. I could have gone. Hong Kong before they took it over. Would have been cool to see before and after. But whatever. Whatever, dude. It was never mine. Robots and AI taking jobs. Very funny. The duality of man. Very good. Very good. Here he is again. Look at this. These Chai-Coms, they're surveilling everyone. Let's watch here.
In fact, our driver parked illegally for 2 minutes, and he got a message on his phone that he got a ticket for about $40 US because they saw it on the camera. Now, there are real questions what the CCP's goal is about citizen tracking and social scoring. They say it's to make everybody feel safe. These cameras are watching every minute. They're everywhere. And while they're watching us here in China, we hope you continue to watch. Special report from...
Oh, I'm sorry, Brett. I forgot that America doesn't have fucking flock cameras everywhere. And hey, you got texted with a ticket. Guess what? In America, they come and they tow your car. Does that ever happen to you in downtown Miami? I know it happens in Atlanta. This is what I don't get about Brett Baer. And any of these like Fox News, like boomer types. Yeah, they're surveilling everyone. Guess what? So is the NSA. So is... I'm not even excusing it. I would prefer if it were not the case, but I actually don't care anymore, actually. Watch me goon, actually. Watch me goon. So, like, what are we pretending here? The Chi-Coms, Alex Jones, the Chi-Coms, social credit system. We have that in America. We really do. It's pretty simple. Let's see how an unpaid parking ticket goes in America. Let's see how that goes for you. Child support? Credit rating? All right. That's our story about China. I have another bit here that we'll save for after, in regards to something else. But now we have to get to Chud the Builder. Okay. This is a fascinating story. And everything says, who was the prick that brought bike lanes to China? But I mean, they're like a rickshaw people, right? The Chinese. I'm sure that was built in. They love their rickshaws. Or am I thinking of the Philippines? When I was in China, dude, there were a lot of people on bikes. They loved their bikes. They loved their bikes. Fuck, man, I miss it. I loved it. I loved it so much. It was so cool. I went to this Buddhist temple, the largest in the world that they built. I had a really cool tour guide. I was like, the first day I was like, yo, can we go see Deng Xiaoping's grave? And she was like, you know Deng Xiaoping? Like, of course, I love Deng Xiaoping. She was like, that's crazy. You know Deng Xiaoping? And I was like, hell yeah. I don't like that Mao fucker, but Deng is cool. And she was like, no, Mao is good too. And I was like, no, he's not. Deng made this the best country in the world after America. She goes, no, Mao is good too. Please don't say that. She was like, don't say that. She was like, don't say that in public, please. She was like, we like Mao. And I was like, all right, I guess, whatever. Not a Maoist personally. I'm more of a Dengist. I like Deng. But, you know, I got this cool plate at the Pearl and Silk Market. I love that place. Shanghai Propaganda Museum was great. I regret not going to Disneyland Shanghai. That was cool. Or Disney World Shanghai. I don't know what it was. I regret not going. But it was a grand old time, dude. I really did like China. It was so much fun. So much fun, dude. And the Chinese people, they're fucking cool, dude. They are cool people. They're smart. They're a little scammy. But you know they're scammy. That's the cool thing about them. You're like, oh, yeah, dude. Like, I know that you're scammy. That's cool. But that's fine. I love it. I loved it. That was before COVID, too. Oh, all right. Let's get to Chud the Builder. For anyone who's not aware of who Chud the Builder is, I'm going to introduce you to some of his content. I have to... No, dude. This is not to eat off of. This is a decorative one. They told me, they're like, no, dude, this is decorative. And you know what I love about China is negotiating, because I bought a bunch of fake shit like Supreme wallets and stuff. This Chinese guy, this was my first interaction, because I love negotiating because I'm Hispanic. We love to negotiate. And I go to the Pearl and Silk Market, and this guy is there, okay? And he's selling the Supreme wallet. And I'm like, how much is this fake Supreme wallet? And he's like, this Supreme wallet is $20. And I was like, I'm sorry. Why are you charging me real prices for fake shit? And he go, that's a fair price, $20. And I'm like, no. He goes, how much you want to pay? And I was like, $1. And he goes, $1. And he went, and I was like, yeah, $1. That's what I want to pay. He goes, no, you must pay $15. $1. He was like, okay, I sell it to you for $5. $1! And he sold it for like $3 because I'm sure their margins are amazing. I love it. I love it. They are the best negotiators because of how insane the spread is. They're like, this is $1 million. You go, I'm not paying over 10. Okay, we'll do 100,000, not over $20, dude. I'll give it to you for $100. Nah, bro, $50. All right, $50. I love negotiating with Chinese people. They're the best. They're the best. They're the best. It's so much fun, dude. When I was in the Pearl and Silk market, it was me and an Arab were the only foreigners, and those are both cultures that love to negotiate. So he was in there yelling, and I was yelling at them too. We were yelling in English. It's like, I'm not paying you over $5. How do you not say the price is $20? I'm not paying over $5, and they go crazy. It's so much fun. And everything, yeah, dude. And Lee Kuan Yew, I didn't know this. My producer told me. He said that the smartest person he ever met was Deng Xiaoping. I'm not a big Lee Kuan Yew fan, but he said that, and he's important. All right, let's get to it. We got to talk about Chud the Builder. Who is Chud the Builder? First, let's watch some of his content. Warning, there is strong language here. I'm going to have to mute it at times.
Ooga booga. Keep chimping out.
I'm chimping out, nigga. I sent on.
You chimping out, dumbass nigga. To me again. What's up? How you doing?
So in case you don't get the idea, this is an IRL streamer who goes to around Nashville recording people. And as you can see, that was a teaser, but let's see, antagonizing people.
I hear you. He just standing here while she works. Am I 12? I'm 28. 28 years old.
No, I was asking your age. I was asking you 12.
12? Isn't that a number like 12?
Hey, watch it. Hey, homeboy. Hey, what is 12? Oh,
I don't speak Ebonics.
oh, so you wanted all.
If you're interacting with people at the gas station, you've already lost. I don't interact with people at the gas station. People at the gas station, whether they're black or white or Hispanic. I have fashion friends, dude. I'm not hanging out with people at the gas station. I'm not. You want to hang out with people at the gas station, yes, he is a nuisance streamer, essentially, sir. Yes. I don't know why you would do that. Let's continue.
You know who I am. Yeah, back the fuck up out my face. That's what I thought. Posture up. I really hope you want to. You want to step outside? Come on, nigger.
As you can see, this is his trademark, is he uses the N-word repeatedly against black people because he says he believes in free speech. Now, again, I said at the start of the show, for anyone that wasn't here, I don't think when Madison and Jefferson were writing the Constitution, they were like, yes, we're writing the First Amendment so that we can call people ethnic slurs. I don't think that's the case. But whatever. I mean, he says it's for free speech. Personally, I'm going to be completely real with you, dude. I think it's crass. I think it's low to say.
Say the N-word. Go on.
I just don't understand. I don't go around calling white people slurs. I don't call Chinese people slurs. Unless we're close, dude. Like, we're friends. You know, when you're friends with someone, you call them a slur. You know, or like you make fun of yourself. You know, you do this. I think this is such crass stuff. Okay. I don't think that it's appropriate to go out there. Now, not saying it should be illegal. I'm not I'm just saying I don't understand why this is worth doing. What is funny about it? And you know what's funny is that in the Old South, this kind of use of ethnic slurs was considered crass and low bar. But people like it. I asked my producer today, I was like, who watches this kind of stuff? Let's finish the video, okay?
Let's go. Come on, nigger. You act like you want to do something. Square up then. Come do something.
Why are you fighting with someone at the gas station? What if they have hepatitis C? Why would you want blood to exchange? That's my biggest thing with America, man, is I like stand your ground. I like it. But I'm not fighting. I'm not scrapping with anyone. It's going to be one shot, you hit the ground, buddy. That's it. I'm not getting hep C. I'm not getting AIDS from someone at the gas station for the stream.
Don't walk up to my truck.
No, but
Don't walk up to my truck, nigger.
All right, we're gonna mute that because I don't want to. I don't think that using the racial slurs is going to de-escalate the situation. And I don't think that it's appropriate. I really don't think it's appropriate. Why would you argue with people who have nothing to lose, people who are at the gas station over this? And this is Chud the Builder's whole content. Like, this is his style. Let's see. I have other examples here. This is where he did here. He went around giving homeless people food only if they agreed with him that whites have the right to say the N-word.
the nigga word, no.
Yes, sir.
Come on, get some burgers. But we got to make sure you believe in free speech first. Yes or no? So white people can say nigger?
All right, that's...
You got to, come on, if you believe in free speech, it's free speech. You don't believe in it? Come on, here. You got to tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no? You believe in free speech?
Why are you antagonizing homeless people with the use of... And as you can see, most of these... I'm going to mute it because it's just so low, okay? No, I'm not doing this for the right-wing channel, Robbie. I'm going to go basic bitch loving boomers is going to be my thing. This is how it ends up. It's obviously a fight because I don't think that it's unusual for people to I would never do this. I wouldn't even do this as a joke. And it's not even because of free speech or non-free speech, or I just think it's crass. And I think it's stupid to fight with homeless people over saying the N-word. I don't think that you're fighting. I don't know. Look, and obviously the person gets angry because
Come on. The nigga word, no.
I don't see what the point of this is. I don't see what. Now, my question is, who watches this? I asked my producer and he was like, dude, I feel like this is like people that subscribe to the view of FAFO, fuck around and find out. People that are like, hell yeah, I want to see someone get, because we're going to see, not only does he do this, but he's always packing, which is fine, but you are antagonizing people with colorful language. What did you think was going to happen? I'm curious how this is going to go. I think he will get out. I don't know. I saw some people saying, because the story today is that he shot someone after they sucker punched him because he was saying the N-word or whatever, right? And he shot himself also by accident in his arm. And I'm just like, who watches this stuff? Because this is, we started the show by wondering who watches The Big Bang Theory. Who watches this? This is where I'm a bit confused. If I wanted to go watch a guy go around yelling the N-word or something, I feel like it'd be kind of, I don't know. I don't think this is very entertaining content. If I wanted to go watch someone piss people off, why wouldn't I do it myself? You know, this is like a vicarious way of experiencing being a nuisance to, I can't tell. My producer was like, is it CCTV? CCTV, can you tell me why you watch this? I'm curious. No judgment, brother. I don't get why people watch this, so please tell me. My producer was like, there's probably a segment of the population that watches it because they're like, I can't wait till something happens to Chud the Builder. You know, I think that that's sick. You know, why do you want to see someone get injured or anything like that? I would rather that not happen. And then the other portion of the audience is probably like, hell yeah, I like seeing black people get angry. Now, listen, I understand that there are racial issues in this country. I really do. And I understand that there are even racial resentments. But I just don't see how this is empowering to people who even have racial issues with black people or white people. What is the point? So, yeah, CCTV, if you could tell me why this is attractive to you, I would appreciate it. I hate everything. It says IRL streamers are crazy. Dude, they are crazy. I don't know why you're doing this with homeless people. Here we can say, CCTV says, because I hate them. I assume you're referring to people who are black. But how does this wait? I just, even if you hate black people, why would you watch this? You know, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't really have, look, man, like, for example, I don't like, in particular, Colombian people. So I don't like to spend time around them or watch their shit, you know? And that's just my ethnic bias because I'm Venezuelan or whatever, by my mother's side. I don't watch Colombian TV shows. Or sometimes I will make an exception, but I rather not. You know, I'm not thinking about, or Argentinians. I don't watch a lot of Argentinian stuff because I don't like them in particular. But I'm also going to judge them as individuals if I meet them. However, I'm not going to watch someone go around and antagonize them because I'd rather just not watch them at all. But that's just me. You know, you let me know. Please further rationalize for us. This is him. I thought this was relevant here because here we can see some anger here.
I knew I smelled some fucking weed. I knew I smelled. What do you mean? I didn't say nothing racist.
I said, as long as you don't, we cool. As long as you don't, we cool.
I'm never racist to nobody. I just say you believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And then I say nigger.
Yeah, but they don't mean. Like,
that mean you don't have to.
Us black people walk around saying cracker though.
Well, you say whatever you want.
I mean, I feel like neither word should be said.
Any word should be said. This is America.
I mean, that's what you giving them the point of. That's what they want us to do is divide and conquer. They want to divide y'all and divide us.
I'm bringing us together again.
That's the whole purpose.
That way we can remember the real enemy.
No.
The enemy is not a word.
You don't know the history behind that word, bro.
That's what they tell you. It's like, remember when they say the Holocaust?
I get it. I get it.
You heard about that one?
I get it, bro.
You know how they talk about the history behind that one? And they try to use that as an excuse as why they run our country and shit, right?
It is what I'm wondering. Again, I don't understand this program because this young man is just trying to say, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't say that word because it just makes people angry. And I don't like it in particular. And he's like, I don't like using the word cracker to refer to white people. And he's like, I'm going to red pill you. This guy is smoking weed in Nashville. He sounds like he's high. What are you red pilling someone on Europe under the Germans? Like, what advantage is there to this? I'm not saying whether Chud is right or wrong. I'm just saying I would not, if I believed in something, I would not go after the guy who's high in Nashville to try to, if I were trying to sell something to someone, say I tried to sell an expensive car, which let's say political ideology, that's a good proxy, an expensive car, there's some responsibility with it. I'm not going to go to Nashville and find the people who are smoking drugs and try to sell them an expensive car. I'm going to go somewhere else. What is the point of this? Again, what is the point? And the reason, all right, I'm going to stop edging you. We'll go back and watch more of his clips later. The reason that we're bringing this up is because today, here we have it here, Chud the Builder shot someone and himself by accident. He's still alive, it seems, and his victim is alive as well. Let's hear the 911 call. Are you curious? This is Chud the Builder after being shot. Let's see this here. And by the way, I wanted to say this because I see Eve says this. I don't think that this is even how language really works. Look, I think that the English taboo on...
Say the N-word, go on.
The N-word is pretty silly. I don't think any other language has that kind of taboo on any word. But whatever, that's their problem. People who speak English in America. It's your problem. I'm sorry, dude. You got to deal with that. But the idea that words are not sensitive or should not be said is crazy. Isn't really that crazy. Words fall out of use all the time. And as long as they're not taboo, there really is no temptation. Look, we have free speech. I could start calling the Walgreens the apothecary. But no one's going to know what the fuck I'm talking about because that word isn't used anymore. So I don't really understand what is the use of using the N-word in public. Maybe I'm just a liberal cuck. All right, let's watch here. This is the Chud the Builder 911 call.
I walked up to him because they were pointing at me. They were laughing. They were pointing at me, and I said, "What's up, guys? How y'all doing?" I said, "Y'all like the new suit?" He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in." He said, "You start saying all that chimp out shit to me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me. Started wailing on me even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He's still wailing on me.
Now, before we even say this, I'm going to give you some non-legal advice, okay? This is audio where this man is describing the events that went down. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. From my understanding, what I have heard from lawyers online is you probably shouldn't do this. You probably should stay quiet and not say a damn thing, because you can get in trouble, because you are under a high cortisol stress shock event, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Not legal advice, but from what I've heard, you should just call the police, say there's been a shooting, and that's it. And like that's it. And then they show up, you give them your shit, and then you get a lawyer. I don't understand how this guy's going around with a gun without knowing basic legal knowledge like that, even though it's not legal advice. But whatever. I don't know how it was. Eve says, people can relearn. They can learn to unhate. I don't know, Eves. I don't know if that is true. I think you have to learn hate, right? But also it's informed by your experiences, right? And also just cultural traditions and all that. But it's possible, you know? I don't know. I don't really trust a lot of those people that are like, I used to be a racist and now I'm not. I'm like, dude, you were probably better off being a racist. You're covered in Nazi tattoos. I think it's better if you just stayed racist. It would make more sense. J-Boss says, we still use apoteca in Portuguese. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Where's your weapon at?
They have everything.
What weapon is that right there?
I believe that's it. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's talking to him right now. Oh, no, you guys are good to do your thing. Okay. He has a graze. I call it a graze to the left arm. He has slight abrasion right here on his head. Maybe some scrapes. Lightheaded.
Now, it appears that his victim was black, okay? This is footage from the event.
He just got arrested over the weekend.
Exactly.
Where he's being put in a stretcher. They reference that he was arrested over the weekend. Chud the Builder, this is his victim who is black. Chud the Builder was arrested over the weekend for refusing to pay a $400 bill at a restaurant during a live stream and getting into a tussle. And apparently his dog was killed by some people that were angry at him. This is him after shooting his arm by accident. Now, not my question, but firstly I have to ask you guys something, because I'm wondering if anyone has considered the fact that maybe Chud was trying to do something a little bit bigger here. Maybe he wasn't just going around saying the N-word frivolously and ended up shooting this man for no reason. I think that Chud may have been trying to get a job, actually. And actually a really good job. Because does anyone recognize this guy here? Does anyone recognize who this is? Does anyone know who this is? This gentleman over here is called Daniel Penny. Okay, and he killed in a justifiable homicide Jordan Neely on the New York subway. What website are we on right now? We are on Andreessen Horowitz, which is one of the largest venture capital funds in the world. Daniel Penny was given this job running the American Dynamism investing team after he committed a justifiable homicide in New York, killing a guy for being crazy on the subway. Now, I'm not saying whether that's justified or not, but I'm just wondering if Chud the Builder was trying to put an application in for A16Z, because it seems like I will never understand this dude. How did they hire this guy based on, I get it. You're like, oh, he deserves to, but maybe Chud is just doing what the market wants. The market wants you to kill people in self-defense situations for you to get a job at Andreessen Horowitz Capital, at A16Z. He is a deal partner supporting A16Z's American Dynamism team. One article. That's great. Maybe this is why, look, and now he gets to work with Mark Andreessen, one of the most important people in the world, Will Bitsky. Maybe Chud the Builder just wants to work for Andreessen Horowitz as well. Have you ever considered that? One of the most important firms. They hired him, purely and only based on the fact that he killed Jordan Neely. That is why Daniel Penny was hired. So I don't think it's a stretch to say that possibly Andreessen Horowitz is the reason that this young person shot someone. When you put out these incentives, what is it libertarians love to say? That there are incentives? Well, when you say that you'll hire people if they kill people in a justifiable homicide, what do you expect?
Sensational.
I mean, maybe, I think that that's what he should plead. Your Honor, I was just trying to do the Daniel Penny thing because I'm broke and I'm trying to get a job in tech at Andreessen Horowitz. And Daniel Penny got one by choking out a black guy. So I thought I would shoot one and then I would get this job. I would like to see what Andreessen has to respond to that. I'd like to see him subpoenaed because I will never understand this, dude. I will never understand this. I will never understand this. Why would you have done this? Listen, this whole thing, obviously that's slightly a bit of a joke, but this whole thing overall is just a mark of the mental decline in this country. Not the mental decline, of the schizophrenia of this country. Where, look, love or hate Chud, will be a watcher or not, find him funny or not, that's fine. But I just don't think that America in 2026 is the time to be going around calling people the N-word.
Say the N-word, go on.
Isn't it, isn't there AI and rockets and stuff? We are still having the same conversation about racism from 50 years ago. No, even more. 60 years. It's the same thing. And I think, dude, do white people really want to say the N-word that badly? And that's, if the answer is yes, then we need to have some sort of delegation here. We need, because it strikes me as this is a major issue. So people really want to say the N-word. I don't really care about saying, you know what I would like? I would like for them to build a nice bridge in my city that didn't cost $900 million. We are at a time where the country is dying. We're in a war in Iran, supposedly. The president tried to coup the country, according to half the country, and then he was reelected. Our last president had dementia. We have a never-ending financial crisis, and we're fighting about who gets to say the N-word?
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
That's what I'm sorry, I feel like this is a bad use of time and energy in this country. I believe in free speech. I absolutely do. Full right to say the N-word. Absolutely. Great stuff. You know, the government is actually taking our money in order to install surveillance cameras that give you $250 fines for going 35 in a school zone on the weekend. And we're arguing about the N-word. We are arguing.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
Why are we... Can we at least change the slur we're arguing about? Because I'm bored at this point. My whole life I've heard, well, not even, this wasn't an issue, or at least not a major one, till a few years ago. Because for a long time, let's play this on mute while we do this so you can see what Chud the Builder, I wanted to show you this one here. This is what the content is. It's using bear mace when people get angry because he used the N-word.
You heard me, nigga.
Fuck your shit. Let's not fight. I am.
Touch me again. Touch me again.
I don't want to get pepper sprayed. I really don't.
Go pick up my hat, nigger. You heard me, nigga. Fuck your shit. Touch me again. Touch me again, nigga. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Hey, don't hit me with that shit.
I ain't gonna pray you. That motherfucker wants to put his hands on me again. Go home with you. Let's go get his ass.
Why are you, I know it's legal technically to bear spray people in the streets. This is total nuisance. This is, other people are going to inhale it. It's going to be gross. Why are you going to follow someone after you bear mace them? Look at this. You're arguing with a fat lesbian about the N-word and bear macing people. This country has schizophrenia. This country is going insane. This country is going insane.
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
And everything says, oh, the speed limit is getting worse than why. Dude, it's getting worse here in Miami, dude. Because they're broke, because they need money. And meanwhile, it seems like at least like 20% of the country wants to argue about who gets to say the N-word. I don't care. Why don't we all just say the N-word at the same time and then we can get over it? Why don't we do that? I don't care. We can say all the slurs all the time. We need to move past this. Listen, man, I'm not black. I don't think the N-word is really all that powerful, personally. Because I'm not affected by slurs, personally. I don't mind if someone calls me a slur. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to be friends. It doesn't mean I'm not going to fight you back. But I'm not crying over the N-word. I'm not, or the S-word, or the W word. I don't care. Because I'm not a child. And maybe it has a particular history, but I've never seen another word this taboo in any other language that makes sense, in the sense of how is this helping us progress? How are we going anywhere? And it's the same conversation. So at this point, I really think we need something to do here. We need to have a delegation. Maybe Trump needs to go to Congress and say, Democrats and Republicans, we need to set up the N-word commission. And we're going to figure out who gets to say the N-word and why. Or if no one gets to say. Well, honestly, that would be the solution. Someone came in there and said, guess what? You guys can't handle the N-word. We're taking it back. Like Tower of Babel style, God comes in. He says, none of you are allowed to say the N-word anymore because you guys clearly can't handle it. You don't understand it. Let's just move back. Because this stuff here, it ends up in a shooting. And I actually found this to be pretty interesting.
Is it any surprise that these weirdos like Chud the Builder and
Mr. Fuentes, like a week ago, talking about this genre of stream. Let's see what he had to say about it, which I thought was pretty good.
Is it any surprise that these weirdos like Chud the Builder and SH00TOUT got exposed as cross-dressing homosexuals? They aren't intelligent or productive, only famous for being rambunctious.
I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. That's not the issue. I mean, that would be an issue, but the issue is like the stuff that they're doing is just, to me, it's not nice. I don't believe in that. Okay. And I saw Chud the Builder got a little bent out of shape about what I said. I don't think I said anything derogatory. I don't like that approach. That's not my approach. It's one thing to be vicious to the people in the arena. You want to be vicious to Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin. That's fair game. They're in the arena. But I really don't like that approach of antagonizing people in public. I just don't. I just don't like that in general. Not even just for politics, but I think that people have enough on their plate. You don't know what people are going through. And people have enough problems. People are trying to get to work, or they're trying to do their thing, or they got something on their mind. I don't like that people are out there bothering everybody. I don't like that in general, whether it's prank channels, political stuff. I don't like that. So I just think that's wrong. I think it's unethical.
Now, it's an odd messenger, but, it's actually not that odd because my Hispanic brother over here, I think that it's a Look, Hispanics, man, we get a bad rap about our time in public, okay? Yes, we will bring the JBL speaker to the beach and play Bad Bunny, and it will be annoying, okay? Okay, the Anglo-Saxons bring their speakers too, and they play techno music. I don't love that, but I know we do it more, all right? Whatever. But we, in public at least, we have to be we have to comport ourselves properly. And I'm not surprised to hear it from Mr. Fine. I mean, listen, man, we may get a little rowdy, me and him, he's Mexican. They're definitely very rowdy. Venezuelans, very rowdy people. Chileans, not so rowdy, mostly just kind of depressed and listening to rock music and drinking wine. But whatever, we're the exception also. But like, why is this happening in America? Why is this happening? I don't think this bodes well for the mental health of the country. J Boss says, thanks for the coverage. Others started covering this from the middle, assuming I knew who Chud is. So I'm glad I waited for you to cover. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I felt like I had seen this Chud guy over the course of a few months where he was doing this, and I find this distasteful. And I was like, I don't think this is going to end well. Are you winning, Chud? And the ironic thing is that this is actually great for him. No joke, man.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
If Chud the Builder does not go to jail from this
nigger guy.
This is probably the best thing to happen to him. In the age of attention, the attention economy, this is probably great. I went to jail for saying the N-word. That's going to be the headline. That's going to be the story. All coverage is good coverage. Negative press is still press. And he's going to be doing his thing. And I'm not, dude, I don't hate the player. I don't even hate the game. But I'm telling you, this is going to continue. This is going to make things more, as well, I always say, we're in hell. It's really hot. Why are we turning the temperature up? I don't think it's time for blacks and whites to be shooting themselves in the streets over the N-word. Why? Why are we, and it really is an insane asylum here, because I feel like the Hispanics are just sitting back, and the Asians too, probably. They're just like, senor, they just keep fighting. Senor, I come to America to work, senor. I work in the lawn. I cut the grass. I fix the car. I fix the fruit. And the white and the black, they keep fighting. These people used to go to the moon. And now they fight over a word. I don't understand why I even come to this country. I mean, the money is okay. I can't wait to retire in Mexico. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. Dude, if white people and black people want to be at each other's throats for saying the N-word, who am I to get in the middle? But, all right. Thanks, Suzanne. Yes, I had to. I was looking insane. Everything says Nick Fuentes, I love black. I don't really understand what his position is these days. Nick is smart. The America First needs a coalition. What Chud is doing is dividing the coalition. Dude, I mean, I don't know if he's going to win anything, Fuentes, personally. I think this voting Democrat thing is interesting, though.
They won't let me.
But regardless of the politics, I don't think it matters what politics you have. This is just a bad look, and it's not great to do this kind of thing. I don't know. I don't understand what justifies this. Listen, and maybe it's just me being a pussy, okay? I love guns. I don't like open carry. I don't even like it on cops. I would prefer everyone wore their guns on the inside, okay? And some people will tell me, you're a pussy. It should be legal. I don't like it. So I would prefer it were illegal, actually. I would prefer you had to put it inside. But, it's just the way it is. I guess. So I guess it's like Joker and Batman in this country, dude. White people and black people just fighting over the N-word for the rest of time. Wow. This country went to the moon. It defeated Nazi Germany. It defeated the Soviet Union. I just wonder if you go around fighting with people at the gas station over using the N-word, how, besides getting shot, how do you think, do you have your Hep C vaccine? You better have your Hep C vaccine. You better have something, man. You better have, what did that guy has fentanyl on him? You better have some Narcan on you. It doesn't seem like you do. And I'm not one of these FAFO people. I don't like that kind of stuff. I'm not glad this happened to Mr. Chud. But I just feel like we're wasting a lot of time here. I don't think that this is good for society. I miss when white people would go around, I don't know, inventing the microwave and the phonograph rather than calling people the N-word on the stream, shucking and jiving for a couple of pennies. White people used to do, dude, white people, they used to, you know, this white guy called Lee Iacocca invented like every car in the 50s. That's crazy. White people did that. It's crazy. Dude, white people used to go over to Europe with guns and defeat the Germans and the Italians and the Russians and shit. White people, they used to invent like the calculator, like TI-84 Texas Instruments calculator. White people used to do some crazy shit. And now you have Chud the Builder yelling the N-word on stream. What? I'm surprised that white people are not calling each other out, themselves out for this, like other white people. This is conduct I do it to Hispanics. Hispanic guy. I see a Hispanic guy who is, you put an organ meat in front of him and he goes, ew, you know, that's conduct unbecoming a Hispanic man. Hispanic people eat everything. What did your mama didn't teach you to eat everything, to make sure that you clean the plate because it's poor in Hispanic countries, including Spain? Where are the white people saying, hey, this is conduct unbecoming of a white? You know, we used to go to the moon. Why isn't anyone saying that? J-Boss says, but King Leo, the attention economy are the only jobs left. You can't at the same time tell people to be liberated of jobs, but then admonish them for shucking and jiving on stream. That is true. That is true. That is true. That's true. I mean, you're right. I really don't have a reply. Does it have to get this extreme? Because the thing is, what I wonder, you're right. You're right, J-Boss. You're right. I want people to be liberated. That's true. And the jobs kind of suck, and there really is no exploration left or whatever. But, however, I feel like even if you're going to do a streaming, right? And that's fine to liberate yourself or something, and you're a white guy, why don't you do like cool white guy things on the stream, right? I don't know, because what I'm wondering is when you start a channel that's dedicated to you saying the N-word to black people in public at the gas station, you can only escalate to physical violence, you know? That's what happens. It has to get more and more and more and more extreme. Eventually, you'll be shooting a porno and you'll be saying the N-word, you know? I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's a shame. Honestly, you're right, J-Boss. This is a mark of a poor economy. Because Chud the Builder, I'm sure in a cool economy where you can do cool shit, it's not even his fault. You're right. We can criticize his choice of streaming, but not to write him for not. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, everything's been invented. You're right. You're right. I feel like there's something you could do. I feel like Chud the Builder's dad probably knows someone who owns a construction company, you know? And Chud the Builder could build something off of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just like, oh, these white people, they know everyone. All the white people know each other. I know that's probably not true, but I feel like Chud the Builder's family has to know, like, I don't know, a guy who owns an aviation maintenance place. Something. I'd be like, hey, Chud, why don't you go work for him instead of doing this stuff, you know? Because this ends badly. But you're right. You're right. Fair points. Fair points. Fair points. All right, everyone. That's the stream for the night. Woo! Interesting. Let's see how this China thing ends up. Let's catch this up here. CCV says he crashed out, literally got arrested the days later, escalates his own self-fulfilling prophecy. I saw that he crashed out. He did a little video where he was like, my dad won't even talk to me anymore because he got arrested over the weekend for not paying a $400 bill. And it's like, dude, I don't think it's good to, I mean, if I were your family, I wouldn't disown you, obviously not, but I'd be like, brother, you can't, I'm going to get in trouble for you saying this kind of stuff, you know? But whatever. I don't know. A good point, J-Boss. Good point. Good point. I can't even disagree. All right, everyone. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I need some feedback here. By the way, tomorrow we might start the new channel. I'm waiting on one prop, dude, and it should have come here today, but it's coming tomorrow. I'll share it with you guys in the Discord and everything. I think tomorrow is going to be the call-in show. I'm not sure how we're going to do that, meaning that I think we're going to do it as soon as people want to call in, because tomorrow is Thursday, or it is Thursday, and those are usually more crowded shows, the Thursdays and Friday shows. So we might do it then. So get ready if you want to come in there. But if there's not a lot of people, I don't think it's worth it. But you let me know what you guys think is the best system as well in the comments or whatever, or tomorrow also in the chat. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I don't know how he shot his own arm, dude, because I've shot guns. I've never shot myself by accident. Maybe it strikes me as something, dude, if it's a P320, he probably dropped it, right? J-Boss says, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I threw the desktop audio all the way up because I realized the mic isn't connected to the desktop audio and OBS. So I appreciate you, sir. You've helped improve the show a lot, sir. It looks and sounds a lot better. All right. Got to get out of here, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. I have a video to shoot tomorrow. I think I'm going to do the iPhone video tomorrow, dude. I think it has potential to go places. So I will see you guys then. I miss Ephra. I miss Mr. Elu. I miss, where is everyone, man? I miss you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Eves, J-Boss, CCTV, Suzanne. I ate everything. And who else was here? Audio, Robbie, and whoever else I missed. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. Change the world.